Oh, what the fuck was that?
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that was on here.
Okay, I didn't even notice there was that. I thought it was the fern for a second. I was like, damn, don't throw my fern in there.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That would be like Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, just throw everything in. Fuck it. Shit.
Like Beavis and Butthead go to a plant store and buy some expensive plant. And like they really enjoy it, but while they're making a fire, like Beavis is like, yeah, should we throw this thing in too? And then Butthead's like, oh yeah. Even though they just like bought it.
What's up, everybody? Jeff at Get Hooked Outdoors. We're just burning up some debris from the tornado we had come through Springfield. Got in the burn barrel.
I knew that would get that going.
Miha's in the house losing her shit. Fuck.
Huh?
Miha's in the house just losing it right now.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, that ought to get it going good again, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa, we're just burning up some yard debris from the tornado. Still trying to clean the yard up. It's going okay so far. Yeah, I just had my first day off of 3, so tomorrow I go back into work at the library, and then after that I'm off for 2 days. Figured I'd go live on here and try to drum up some people watching and whatnot. Been enjoying the pictures you post too online. I was gonna say, yeah. Oh, most of that's like Colorado, I'm guessing. And there's my daughter. Hey, Jess. We're burning stuff. Where are you at? Oh, and Puta's outside. So, yeah, we got to try to coax her to come back into the house at some point tonight. Yeah, I miss my mom and dad, too. I was thinking about my mom this morning, and I don't know, I think that's what made me go back and take a nap this morning, is it just kind of hit hard being that it's Mother's Day. I remember Dad used to take me fishing on Mother's Day, keep me out of Mom's hair, and then we stop at the flower shop, get her flowers in the cart on the way home. Last trip I remember taking, I think was back in 95 or 96. We went up to Ventura and we went to go fishing for salmon that day. Caught 2 salmon, came back home. Of course, Dad got a little tipsy on the way home, and yeah, we stopped at the flower shop and we were going to take her to Casa Camino that night, but instead I wound up cooking salmon for the first time, which was kind of cool. I think that same year we took your dad up to Bodega Bay that year, I think. That was like one of the last fishing trips I remember taking with Uncle Dean, so. him and Dad kind of got into it a little bit because, of course, my dad was just starting his retirement stuff, and your dad was trying to tell him about retirement, and he wasn't trying to hear it. And plus, my dad was actually going senile at the time. But yeah. Love you too. Yep. Yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, I was kind of drinking some squirt and tequila earlier. So something I picked up from our dads. Then I was also out looking at my project boat today. Thought the transom was bad on it, but the last guy that worked on it already replaced the transom, so it was just the motor was probably just too much for it. They had 150 horsepower Mercury on there, which really shouldn't have been on it. Very epic. I know right now my mom's probably up there like seeing everything I talk to my friends about, and yeah, she's probably just like looking at my dad, giving him a look right now. You let him do what, Jack? One of the alcohols I actually like is like Burgundy. And I remember our dads used to drink that a lot, that Julio Rossi or whatever it was, Julio Gallo Rossi, or yeah. God, I can't believe they did that. That time, the Marlin picture, that was just like, that was an epic trip right there. They didn't bring water or soda for me to drink. And we went all the way out there to San Clemente Island. All we had was that damn Burgundy, and we got smashed. And then your dad was fighting that fish the whole time, and I had to run the boat back home. Don't tell your mom. Oh, that was great. It's probably one of the only reasons I actually want to try to get back out there to Southern California, just even to visit. Let's go out there, go fishing. Did you have the Bel Air? Like, what year was that? Because I kind of think I remember that car for some reason. I noticed you had commented when your first car was a Bel Air. On my one post on my personal page. Which actually, you know, I heard that car beep a little while ago. I thought it was Jess home. I guess it wasn't. I can see her being upset right now because, yeah, she's out. I think she's out door dashing. I could have sent her with the food stamp card to go get marshmallows and stuff and could have made s'mores, but Tuesday. Yeah, I feel like I seen that car when I was a kid. I remember one thing definitely though, like one thing I picked up from having your mom watch me and stuff was I got a taste for Wheaties while being there at the house. I was like, I never really ate Wheaties at our place, but yeah, it was like something that I liked getting from there. Like, oh, you're gonna go get babysat over there or whatever. It's like, yeah, It's like, that was like my favorite thing, like cereal. One place that's always on my mind, though, to be honest, like fishing with your dad and taking trips besides Baja, is the Salton Sea. Always, I got vivid memories of the Salton Sea all the time. So my dad had that thing about not shaving his beard or something. He'd have to go to the Salton Sea, go fishing there. Your dad had to be there, and we'd go catch Corvina. If we didn't catch Corvina, my dad wouldn't shave his beard. It was kind of like that groundhog thing. During my teenage years, I had a friend of mine. He was like my first boyfriend anyway. Freaking, he had a Maverick, a Ford Maverick, and it was like an ugly booger green color. We used to call it the booger. It's like, didn't know what the hell I was doing back then. Like, I know my dad would have been pissed about that one. It was bad enough I dated a black girl in high school and he got all upset about it. And weather permitting, not this coming week, but the week after, I'm supposed to be down at Table Rock Lake, camping at one of my normal spots I usually get. It's like Site 33 at Mill Creek Campground in Lampe, Missouri. Ooh, I think I've heard of that spot. I have an app that's like recreation.gov, and that's where I usually do all my reservations for when I go to campsites. It's like I pay them in advance and then just go, and everything's ready when I get there. Even for like state parks and stuff, I really want to, like, maybe by next year, once we get the workman's comp for the security company and we start making money off of that, I'm planning on, just taking hiatus for like a year and just, whatever income we're getting out of the security company, I'm taking off. Get back to traveling like our parents did. It's kind of like, it didn't surprise me my parents joined the Vagabundos del Mar back in the day, because they're like gypsies of the sea or whatever. It was like, because I remember my dad, everybody used to say, oh, we're a bunch of parking lot bums and stuff, and like, I remember we used to tow the boat around and spend the night at the launch ramps and just camp in the launch ramp places. That was pretty fun. And of course, when down in Baja, we just, whatever beach. So I kind of want to say, like, some of the pictures he sent me, I can't remember what trip exactly it was, but one of them might have been in San Felipe area. I just remember my mom had so many albums back then. I wish I had any of those pictures also. Heck, it's like, I've been trying to find stuff here and there. I was going to ask Tom and Teresa Chapman if they had any pictures from back in the day, but I never did get a chance to ask at the last minute. Tom passed away around the time I had my heart attack last year. Then my best friend passed away on the 20th of September last year, and I didn't even know that. That was my best female friend. She was like a little sister to me. That crushed me when I found out this year about that. And then at the same time I found out about that, it was when I found out about my godmother, Teresa, passing away. And that was just like, dang it. I've yet to talk to their daughter. keep meaning to, but yeah, I just feel like I'd start crying a little bit. Too many good memories. One of these days I got to catch the deer walking through the backyard. Well, not my backyard specifically because I got a fenced in backyard, but behind the fence there's a rail yard and there's a bit of woods back there, and the deer usually run up and down the wooded area. Yeah. Yeah, they were all part of the old gang. Can't remember. I think Tom was one of Alan's friends, but my dad also knew him because I think at one point he ran the qualifier 105 out of San Diego, and my dad knew everybody down there. So, being that he was an ex-commercial fisherman, worked on all the charter boats at one point. I've been watching the history of sport fishing lately, and they show a lot of stuff about Bill Poole, and I remember so many stories of my dad telling me about him and Bill Poole and everything. There was I can't remember what the series was I was watching, but I found 8mm footage of my dad on one of the boats that Bill Poole was running at the time down in San Quintin. That was pretty cool. I kind of got bored with it today because they started talking about fly fishing. And fly fishing is not really my thing, even though I kind of know a little bit about it. But kind of feel bad also because one of my dad's rods he had a fly fishing rod and reel, and apparently nowadays it was like really expensive, and I'm pretty sure I threw it away or something when I was younger. I have not found Alan yet, unless you know where he's at. I've searched them out a few times. I couldn't remember Marty's last name either, but yeah, Marty. I remember Marty, Alan, just all of us, yeah, and this one guy, Steve, that I used to call the Beast, and let's see, Frank Micknack. Tried looking him up, couldn't find him. A couple years later down the line, when my dad and your dad weren't hanging out, there was a guy, Jack Arkilly, and I found him. And I found his sons. They're still living in, I think one of them still living in Norwalk. And there was Oscar Corral. I think he's still living out there somewhere. What's that place next to Norwalk? Cerritos. And there was another guy I met that knew my dad from fishing and everything. He wound up being a creator of paintball stuff, the Otto Cocker paintball marker, or paintball gun as they say. I gotta figure out. Oh, it's Levi. Hey, what's up, Levi? Just out here burning debris and talking about old school stuff. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that sounds about right. Trying to remember. Did you guys have a small boat? Because he had a small boat in his garage for the longest time before I wound up giving him the Montezuma's Revenge 2. Because after the Starcraft got messed up when we were down in Mexico and went off the cliff, it was pretty messed up. So we didn't have the Starcraft anymore, and I got a 16-foot glass bar from one of our friends, Chris Garcia, that had Garcia's garage there in Paramount. And then we we got Alan Carver's old boat, which was a 1964 Winter 20-footer, little cruiser boat. And that thing, oh my God, that thing was a piece. And we wound up giving that to Oscar later on. Oh, wait, the Blue Tracker? Oh, wait, no. No, I keep on thinking about, nah, there was a Bayliner or something like that too he had. He had like 3 boats. There's like one in the garage. He had the Bayliner, which was a big blue one, which no, that one I believe he got from Frank Micknack. It's funny, like we all like passed those boats around like crazy back then. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it might have been after I left. What year was that? You guys hooked him up with the boat? All right, yeah, just send that one to me. I'm kind of wondering if that's the one that was sitting in the garage the whole time. Oh yeah, that was after. That was definitely after, yeah, because I left here. Mom and Dad left in 99, or no, 2000. I left in 2000, came back, and then I left again in 2001. So yeah, last time I took Oscar fishing was on, like I said, Alan Carver's old boat. And we slayed the yellowtail. It was like one of the last few times I went fishing before I wound up moving out here. Yeah, I miss that old aluminum boat we had at Starcraft. That was a good one. As a matter of fact, oh God, I halfway feel like that Starcraft was one of the reasons, like, my dad and your dad kind of had a falling out a little bit. I would not pick that up. Use the loppers are up here. You could grab it with them. Yeah, because there was somebody else. I remember I think Oscar either helped get the engine for it when the 70 horsepower went out from the older Montezuma's Revenge, and then there was, oh, what was his name? Carlos Soto. I think he threw in to help get the Starcraft. And then I can't remember the other old guy. He had a Century. Dang it, what was his name? I'll probably remember in a week or so. But there was another guy. He had a boat too. It was like, yeah, everybody had a boat. Those, yeah. Oh, but him and Ed used to hang out all the time. Ed was a Pollock guy that always used to tell the same stories over and over and over again. He got on everybody's nerves. Dude wasn't named Joe. It's like I always remember all the bad stuff about this guy because he's the one that sat there and told my mom, "Oh, you didn't want him anyway," when her first pregnancy failed, which he was just being sarcastic because that's the way he was. But they lived in Carson. Mija, chill out. I know, I left you in the room. Calm down. Anaki, come here. Yes, hi, baby. Yes. And Mija. Yeah. I see you. Calm down. Very upset puppy. Oh, dang, I just had his name. Dang it. Joe Ross was the Chris Garcia in them. So that wasn't him. It's funny. I always end up trying to remember somebody's name, and then weeks later I'll remember. But then I'll get stuck on it for a while too. So yeah, this is going to be great. Yeah, I mean, I was very pissed. I had her locked up in the room so she wouldn't run outside while we were getting the fire started. Levi probably dipped out because I'm not doing political talk. He's been wanting to have me help him with his podcast, and I've been sitting there wanting to get this stuff started back up to where I have these little fireside talks and everything. And yeah. Which I'm not even sure I was going to have anything to... Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's one thing. I do got a good memory. Somewhat of a good memory. As you can tell, yeah, I have like little short bursts where I'm like, dang it, I can't remember stuff. I want to say this guy, his name started with a J, but I know that's not it. It's funny because like basically anything that has to do with fishing or people that were involved with fishing with my dad or even with me, it's like I tend to remember a lot of that stuff, or even a lot of the people that went camping with us. Like I remember a lot of the trips that we took, the 1,000 trails and everything like that. It's my mom. I think your mom came along a couple of times too. We used to go 1,000 trails on the weekends there in what was it, Hemet? Yeah, I think it was Hemet. And I believe they got in there because the landlord sat there and was there too. They had like their little trailer I poked holes in with those lawn darts. It's like I'm hoping that in the next 2 years I do get though to move back out there to San Quintin, back down to Baja. Just use that. Yeah. Hi, Phil. Yeah. I remember being there for like your daughter's birthday or something like that, and we got her like a Barbie thing or something. You guys were living in an apartment, I think. Trying to remember if there was another time I met Phil, but I don't think so. Yeah, possibly a baby shower. No, I think I went to the baby shower and I went to a birthday party, I think. Something like that, but yeah. And I feel like there was like a Barbie pool slide thingy or something like that. I remember I was playing with the Barbies with one of the kids, so yeah. I remember the weirdest stuff. One thing I can attribute to my, I don't want to call it alcoholism, but my alcohol mixing skills is, yeah, back when your parents used to throw those parties and stuff, and yeah, have the card games. And I remember I learned how to mix like a White Russian or something like that when I was like 5 or 6 years old. Oh, and screwdrivers. I remember your parents had like the best freaking like record collection too. Yeah, that's what it was. Yep, the first birthday. Yep. I tend to remember your brother very seldomly, but yeah. Damn, that was not, what the hell? Once again, I'm trying to remember that guy's name because he said something like a jackass again, too, over your brother at one point. Ozzy Osbourne, that's it. I'm like, how the hell could I forget that fucking name? Because, yeah, it was like he had the same name as the singer. I think like my favorite records that some of your dad's records that he had was like Willie Nelson, and I think he had, I want to say he had Johnny Cash, but I can't remember if that was him or my mom, because I remember my mom used to bring over a couple of records too. My mom had a like thing for like Tijuana Gas and all that stuff back in the day. Mamas and the Papas. I remember she had the White Album from the Beatles. Man, she had a lot of records though. And my dumb butt, when we moved, I didn't know any of them damn things were worth anything. I just threw all the damn records away like a jackass. God, I messed up a lot of crap back then. When I was 18, I was like, I was horrible. I had a chip on my shoulder because I was taking care of both my mom and my dad there for a while. Hey, Cassie. Yeah, Marty was always busy. It's like, I don't know. It's like I remember being watched when I was over there, and your brother would show up for like minutes or something, and then just poof, gone. And then you'd either be there, or it was just me, your mom, and I want to say her sister or something. Somebody used to come over and hang out. That and Atari. I remember playing Atari a lot while I was there. Yeah. Hey, Cassie, how's Sawyer doing? Hope you had a good Mother's Day. Yeah, I remember my dad wound up getting me an Atari afterwards after he seen how much I liked it. Oh, and then we went out to like either Apple Valley or Ukaipa. Yeah, I think it might have been Joshua Tree or Ukaipa, something like that. I remember he got me a Commodore 64. They were looking at a timeshare out there. And they were like, oh, yeah, since you sat through the 90-minute thingy, blah, 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 blah. Next thing I know, I got a new game system and computer. The X. I'm guessing the X messed everything up today. Yeah, I'm going to try to do these videos like at least once a week. There was a time when I had them scheduled for once a week, but I was working so much, and then yeah, I just didn't get around to doing them. But I had like tons of footage that I lost on the hard drive within the last 2 years, moving and everything else. So this whole Get Hooked Outdoors thing, I had a whole thing set up for it, and yeah, I just kind of put everything on a hard drive. I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and edit it later. I'll do this later. And I procrastinated a little bit because of work. And yeah, next thing I knew, I lost everything. So kind of helps to like give me things to talk about too. Like, yeah, I love reminiscing about old school stuff. I think one of the times I did one of these, I tried talking about that whole trip catching the marlin and everything. Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't have to do that. That guy's just ridiculous. It's like I keep on thinking about it some days. I'm like, I try to figure out how to describe you, Lisa. I was like, yeah, and then I keep on thinking, oh yeah, that's right. It used to be Aunt Dean, Uncle Val. I was like, I still say it every once in a while. Like, so yeah, I'd just be like, oh, that's cousin right there. That's one of the things that's still stuck in me from my mom. Yeah, the whole Pacific Islander part, everybody's aunt and uncle, cousin, and this and that. So yeah, I need to go fishing. I tried today, but yeah, I didn't quite make it. One of the gates at Fellows was closed today. Apparently, they're still trying to clean up storm damage up there. And then I went to McDaniel, but yeah, there wasn't. Everybody was in my fishing spots at McDaniel, so yeah, we just went ahead and went on a quick drive. Seen one deer today. Seen a turkey. That was about it. And came back here and we're burning the debris from the backyard here. Well, this stuff we're burning now is from the front yard. Yeah, they do have a new playground out there. I noticed that. I still like the ones they still. I think they still have it. I think I seen a merry-go-round out there over by Gate 2. Yeah, I'm like, dang. I'm hoping the weather holds for the camping trip. I'm so hoping it holds. Springfield Lake, I don't know about that spot. Only thing I've ever caught there, I mean, if I really, really wanted to catch catfish real bad, yeah, I'd definitely go there. But they just got like mainly channel and some blue cat. I've never caught a flathead out of there yet. Yeah, that'd be fun. It will, the 20th. So let's see. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 20th's on Tuesday. So Tuesday through Friday, I believe. Tuesday at 4 o'clock is when I get the campsite. Yeah, definitely don't eat them from there. I mean, there's people that say, oh, I've ate them, but yeah, ugh. I don't know. I've never ate a catfish from Springfield Lake, and I don't plan to. Not even a bass. Even if I caught like a real good sized bass out of there, I wouldn't even eat it. That four-wheeler or power wheel that power wheel four-wheeler that you guys put out on the road, I just remembered I had a power wheel sitting in the backyard, and I bet we could have swapped the motors out and stuck that in there and fixed it. I just noticed it was sitting out here today. I was like, oh yeah, damn, I got one of those. One of my friends' kids, they sat there and they got a bunch of toys one day, and they're just like, oh, we're gonna leave them over here for now. And yeah, they've been sitting here for the last 2 years. I actually got a brand new girl's bike sitting back here. Yeah. Some point Sophie could ride that. Mosquitoes. You said every week. Dang, heck yeah. That's definitely some stuff my parents used to do. And your parents, like almost every weekend, they were going somewhere there for a while. Like I said, I remember a lot of trips out there. Morro Bay, Monterey, Santa Cruz, freaking, yeah. They were always chasing tuna. Every year, albacore, big eye, bluefin. I think Marty and Alan were the only two that always wanted to go for freaking the yellowfin tuna and stuff like that. And like, yeah, I was just like, I don't know. I never really liked yellowfin tuna. Bluefin and albacore were always my favorites. Skipjack, actually, I do remember eating skipjack before too, and like it was kind of trash tuna, but you could still make a pretty decent like hamburger, well, tuna helper out of that. or tuna casserole. One of the things I like about here in Missouri is, like, I remember we used to go up to the High Sierras a lot, and that was back in the day when High Sierras. That's where your dad was the first one to sit there and say the phrase they always used to say: "Live by the worm, die by the worm." They found that 10-inch worm and that little tiny trout damn thing sat there and ate it. And yeah, when they were filleting it up, they got that. It was like, yeah, your dad sat there and said that. And after that, every time they catch a fish, live by the worm, die by the worm, or fetch them in Hattie, or whatever the heck it was. For some reason, that one sticks in my head too. But I'm like, I don't remember what the hell it was from. I think my dad said it was from a radio show or a TV show that they used to listen to back in the day. But I can't quite remember. Yeah, right now I'm kind of stuck on I'm kind of stuck nowadays on like tent camping. But there's days where I'm sitting there. So there's a 68 Ford F-250 camper special that was on Facebook Marketplace. I think I posted that online because it brought a tear to my eye, because that was the truck that my dad always used to get. The Ford Ranger, I think he had a F-150 at one time with the little toolbox thing on the side, which I can't remember what the heck was so special about that truck, but I want to say maybe that was a Ranger too. But anyway, yeah, I was like, I remember my dad in those old Fords all the time. And that brought back some memories. So I saw that, and then there's a truck on there now. It's a 1965 Ford, like, camper special type, even though I think the camper special was really from 68 on. But they got an old Dreamer on the back of that thing. It's like one of the ones that hangs off the back real far. This thing's like 13 or 14 feet almost. And I was just like, damn, like, that's out there, had me wanting to get one. But now my secondary project I want to do, aside from restoring the Terry bass boat that I have, is I want to build an overlander camper. And I want to get an old truck, or maybe even just a small Ford Ranger with a bigger V6 engine in it, or a Toyota Tundra, and just put the flatbed on the back and then build up on the camper from there. Because, yeah, I was like, oh, man, it looks so freaking cool. But then I remember my dad, I keep on hearing him in my head, like, just get an old truck, fix it up, and you could use it, and it'll never break down as long as you keep the parts and keep it running. I know how to keep them trucks running, so. I gotta go hit the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. And I'm gonna bring my freaking tripod out here. Not sure how much battery life I got left.
I gotta get a better battery out of my car first.
All right. Yeah, I'm out of AAAs already.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I got one in my car.
That's why I was saying I had to buy more batteries, and
Yeah.
I gotta get more AAAs. I gotta go get D batteries too, because when I go camping, I'm gonna need those.
Okay. I got 2 brand new alkaline AAAs, but they're in the Taurus.
Ah.
I'm gonna get some used ones out of my stack.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, Brandon Blair get on here. God, we got stories about my dad when we were down in Mexico. Jesus. He's my Calabash brother. I know right now it only says there's like one person watching, but I don't know. Cassie might still be on here. I think the most views I ever had on a video at one point on a live, I think I had like 150 people watching. And back then that was before monetization. I'm like, yay. My YouTube, I'm down to 22 subscribers now. But I've got to redo all the content on there. And what was that saying? Like, see the seat of your pants? That's what I remember with my dad. He was a lot of seat of your pants type stuff. Jeez. I kind of showed off one time, so Jack sat there and had so much stuff ingrained in my brain, and I was just like, oh heck, like one of my friends had bought a little tri-hull. I think it was a Glastron or something, or like some cheap boat, and it was like a tri-hull, had a little Volvo Penta in it, and we went out and we got bait at the bait barge, and we were gonna go fishing for yellowtail. And this is just after I'd taken Oscar corral fishing, like the next weekend, or no, it was 4 days later after that trip. And he wanted to take his boat out, so we went out on his boat, and it sucked. The fishing kind of sucked. We didn't really catch anything, but the yellowtail came up under the boat. We went out to the oil rigs, and just before getting to the oil rigs, oh, it was horrible. Jeez, man, I'm messing this one up. Anyway, so I remember we launched out of Alamedas Bay. We hit the bait barge, and I realized this compass didn't work for shit. And I'm like, damn it. I was like, this compass freaking sucks. And it was like an old air guide compass or something like that. It was a piece of crap. Been on the boat forever. It was ruined. They used metal screws behind it, and it just threw everything off. And I'd been out on the water so much with my dad, and it was about 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, screw it. Put the sun on my shoulder and go the way I think Catalina is. And it was foggy. I remember I ran the boat for about 40 minutes. Well, not 40 minutes, but it was like 20 minutes to one spot. And then I sat there and faced the sun and just kept going for another like 10 minutes or so. And I ran right into one of the buoys that was out there, and right to the edge where that buoy was. All of a sudden the fog goes away, so the fog bank cleared, and we're sitting there looking right at the freaking oil rigs, and everybody's like, how the hell did you do that? I was like, seat of my pants. That's the only way I could explain it. yeah, that 17-foot skiff, yeah, that one, the original Montezuma's Revenge, that one was wild, hell. And that's the one I'm saying, like after that boat, because they wrecked that boat in Ensenada, they repaired it. And then my dad wanted to get the aluminum boat. And he used to tell me he bought me that boat. Man. Yeah, I got a picture where we're in the, we took Ozzy fishing, and Ozzy's in the picture. My mom's standing next to the boat. My dad's sitting on the boat, and I'm in the boat. And you can see one of my dad's old Fenwick rods with a zucchini lure on it. They went up there to go albacore fishing. I believe we were in Morro Bay that time. And that was like one of the first trips they took on the boat. And yeah, I'm pretty sure your dad's one of the people that threw in to get that Starcraft. And I can't remember if my dad ever paid everybody back or bought everybody out on the boat. I can't remember how the hell that happened. But I know Marty used to borrow the boat. Alan used to borrow the boat. Carlos Soto borrowed the boat once to go fishing in the Salton Sea. And I think we had to call Ozzy or Gene. I don't know if you remember Salton Sea Gene, but yeah, Gene and his wife. I think Gene and his wife used to hang out with your mom and your dad a lot too. But yeah, I remember it was like either Gene or Rusty Hooks from down there at Salton Sea Beach had to sit there and go and get Carlos from Bombay Beach. Those freaking tuna my dad used to catch though, when he used to take everybody fishing, that was just freaking nuts. Jeez. Sorry. Those big like 80, I remember 80, 100-pound tuna sometimes. And that's not just because I was a little kid, but I remember the pictures that they used to have and bring back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Gene they either lived in Garden Grove or what was that? Dang, I don't want to say it was Garden Grove, but it was north of where you guys lived. It was like Torrance, Hawthorne, Gardena. I think him and his old lady lived in Gardena, around that area. Because I remember we used to take the 110 north from 91. And I can't remember what road we used to get off on, but yeah, it wasn't far from King's Hawaiian either. I know that much, but yeah. That's like places I remember eating at when I was a kid. So there was like, I remember we used to get fresh bread from King's Hawaiian. Then there was Diana's for the tamales. And then I think I went to that Oktoberfest place a couple of times with the family. And the freaking Goodyear blimp. Okay, so yeah, Ozzy Osbourne, his family, they lived not far from where the Goodyear blimp launched at. Oh, what was that? 190. God, I want to say it was 190. For some reason, I remember a street called 190th or something like that. And I think it ran to like the Del Amo Mall. Was it Del Amo Mall? Anyway, you take that road all the way to Redondo Beach, basically. Those definitely were good times, man. One of the things I've been wanting to try for catfishing out here, because I used to use salted mackerel, and I used to go to Spain Park and catch catfish there at Spain Park. Alpine Village, yeah, that's the name of the place. And then I used to use that for catching catfish back home in California. I keep wondering if it'd work out here, but I gotta go to the Asian store one day here and just go ahead and grab some mackerel and see if I can't dry it out. Yeah, 190th, yep. They lived not far from some place that my dad called the pig place or something like that. They used to, I don't know what the hell it was. It was like something they used for manufacturing parts for planes, and yeah, it was just weird. There were so many damn places there that Northrop had, it was crazy. Then all the guys my dad knew from McDonnell Douglas, Northrop Grumman, Skunk Works. Jeez, what What was it that your dad used to do there? Was he a tooling engineer too? I can't remember if he worked in the tooling department or where he worked at. Even Micmac, I can't remember if he worked a line or if he worked in the tooling area. I just remember that at one point there was, yeah, I heard, I think there's like, isn't that where the go-kart place is now? Or is the go-kart place further down? I don't know. I just know, last time I was in California, it was like 2011. And I remember my brother took me over that way. So we were, were we trying to go? No, we weren't trying. Arts Fishing Tackle had closed by that point. But yeah, I think Alpine Village was still there. I'm not sure. Yep. That was just, huh?
I put in a bag of trash.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just remember you gotta stay up with it. Yeah. I remember all the plaques and everything. My dad used to bring home plaques, freaking airplanes, models and all that. I remember before they built the International Space Station, the tooling guys got a plaque because they designed some of the tools to build the station at one point. And I remember my dad had the plaque hanging on the wall. I think that was like in 1990 or 1992. Yeah, see 2008. No. Hey Glenn, was that 2007 or 2008 when we went to when me and Dre went to Michigan?
2008.
Yeah, so around that time I was in Michigan. I didn't decide to go back home to California until like late 2009, 2010.
Oh, damn. Stick broke.
Yeah. I'm not sure what was in that bag.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that was ooh.
Okay, oh, it's all in there. Plastic stuff.
Man, I hope there's plastic in there, because I remember I gave some fireworks to Joe and I do not know where the hell those fireworks went.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
What part of Michigan is he from? My dad was stationed in Bay City at the Coast Guard place there. Oh my God, I gotta tell you about that one. So yeah, while I was in Bay City at the time, like I said, we moved to Michigan, Bay City area where Madonna's from. Everybody in the world grew up and knew Madonna and went to high school with her apparently there. But anyway, so while I was there, I seen people that looked like my dad, and I seen a guy that looked almost like me there. And I kept wondering, I was like, dang it, what years was my dad stationed there? I could never remember. And I was just like, damn, because he just told me he was there for a basic training for the Coast Guard. And I'm just like, man, that's crazy, because I know my dad was a little horn dog just like I was when I was younger. So just like, oh, cool. Yeah, I went to Detroit. I wanted to go visit Motown, but I didn't do the normal touristy thing. I was hanging out in, oh my God, what is that place? Pontiac Hills area, and the place that had the bad water anyway. Oh my God, that was the worst freaking experience I ever had with water in my whole life, was in Michigan. So in Bay City, they were fracking the ground out there, and the water used to catch fire. Like you could literally hold a lighter up to the water and it'd sit there and just like start burning and start sparking up. I couldn't even make ramen out of that water there. It was horrible. And it was funny at the same time. But that damn lake snow used to get to me. That was a trip. And that was the first place I ever got cold weather damage at. Yeah, Flint, Michigan, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I hung out a lot there in Bay City, Tawas. God, there was a place just north of us, Pinconning, Saginaw, and Midland. And I went to Grand Rapids like once or twice, but we used to do these casino runs and we just go in one big giant circle, Kalamazoo. And we'd like, yeah, I hit, man, there's other place, Aurora. I think that was one of the names of the places there, but yeah. I liked Michigan, but they had this thing called Consumers there, and it was the utility company, and oh my God, that was the other thing. So we were paying like $600 for like a 3-bedroom trailer, and ooh, shit. We were paying, ooh, damn. Gotta love living out in the county. You can still burn trash in a barrel out here anyway. So, woo. Traverse City, that's another place I want to go to there. They got good smallmouth fishing up there, but the walleye fishing was exceptional there in Saginaw. Saginaw River is polluted as hell, but geez, they had a great fishery there for walleye. I got off track after burning that, yeah, watching them burn that one. Mackinac, froze my ass off up there at the bridge. Oh my God. Ugh. That was bad. We went up there to hang out, and me and this chick, yeah, we went up going up there and were stuck in her car for a whole day. Did you say that stick broke?
Oh, yeah.
Damn. Yep. Yeah, Michigan's like my 3rd place or 4th place on my list of places I'd like move back to and live. But that's what it was. I was complaining about Consumers. But yeah, Consumers, so like we'd pay like $400 around that area for rent. And then the freaking Consumers bill would be like $800-900 for like utilities, water, sewer. It's like the water wasn't even good. Like I said, it'd catch fire. Never noticed how much it costs to live like on the east side of Michigan, on the other side of the thumb. Oh, here come the other puppies. Mija, hey baby. Yeah, there's something there that was on fire. You better stay away from it. Mija, no. Damn, that flame's pretty good right now. I didn't realize where the placement of my camera was until now. I'm like, oh shit. I'm gonna try this mic out. Let me know if you could still hear me. Hold up. Like I'm plugging it in right now. And I'm hoping you can still hear, but yeah. Gotta turn that a little bit. I don't know if you can hear me snapping my fingers, but yeah, that's one way I test this mic out. Michigan was beautiful and also had an idiot for a governor. That lady from Canada or whoever the heck she was, oh my God. Blew all the state's money on her freaking mansion the whole time we were there. I was so glad to get the hell out of there. Went back to California, I believe in 2010. Stayed there till 2011. Picky. I was out there off of Willow and Santa Fe, living in Long Beach. And I'd walk to the beach every day. That was fun. Until I got a job, and then after that I was like, yeah, I walk to work. Wish I could still walk like that. This stupid vasovagal thing I have. It's like, yeah, I'm one of a 3% that sit there and like so damn bad that it could kill me. And all it is like a fainting type thing that happens, but it stops my heart. It could stop my lungs, makes me have seizures. Destroyed my thyroid, so I gained weight. Might have been born with it. It might not have been a heart murmur I was born with. It might have just been bad nerves. Which I can't wait to go see the neurologist again. I like Tawas a lot. That was probably like, it was like midway up the peninsula. I like that place a lot. Then, like I said, I want to go back to Traverse City because I want to go fishing there so bad. I want to catch a 5-pound smallmouth bass. That's like one of my goldfish to catch. And then lake salmon. Oh, that was the other thing I learned. So in the history of sport fishing, so like the king salmon we used to catch back there in California, they got a whole bunch of brood, and they took the brood to the Great Lakes, and that's how the Great Lakes wound up getting salmon. And then they started calling it Atlantic salmon and stuff like that too. So, because they'd sit there and go up the estuaries or whatever the heck it was, the canal, Erie Canal. They go down through there and go out to the ocean. Oh, Alucard's back.
Uh-huh. I heard.
Alucard. Meow. Alucard. Yeah. And what did you do tonight? You don't want to talk about it? Not really? That cat talks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go inside, bastard. Crap, what time is it?
It's only, it's 11. Doing all right.
Yeah, I should probably get off here, get ready for bed here in a little bit. I gotta be to work at 8 o'clock.
Oh.
I gotta be up by 8 o'clock, get ready for work at 10. Well, yeah, I'm gonna sign off on this one. I'll probably be doing this again either next Sunday or within the next few days, maybe while I'm off on Tuesday. See if I can't get more people to show up. Talk a little bit more. Mija, sissy. Biscuit. That, and I don't really want to be on camera burning trash, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's going to say something. It's mostly paper. The only plastic in there besides that jug that fell out earlier.
Yeah.
Which I think it's actually a bag full of plastic bottles, maybe. By the triangle.
We're actually making headway here on that shit.
Yeah. Will do. Like I said, I'll probably either do this again this week or probably on Sundays. I should just do this once a week on Sundays. Just burn a bunch of stuff at the end of the night. Next Sunday, depending, I probably shouldn't be saying this on live, but yeah, depending if I go ahead and play hooky from work on Monday and just take a whole freaking week off, because I need it. But yeah, I'll probably do this again next Sunday. So anyway, this is Jeff with Get Hooked Outdoors. Be a part of the adventure. See y'all later.